And we're live. All right. Cool. All right. So today it is Saturday and I'm gonna work on a few things. One thing I'm gonna start with is I've got some vines that I made in Houdini, which I am very, very excited to show off because they turned out kind of cool. It's not perfect. I'm still learning Vex, and yeah. So let's try putting some. Let me get my stream chat pulled up because that is something I tend to miss, and I don't mean to. Oh nope. All right, that's pulling up. Okay, yeah. You wanted to edit the stream, no. Okay, chat's pulled up. All right, so we've got a ivy and growth system, and I don't know. I haven't tried it on this mesh right here, but let's see what it does, because I am really enjoying the little things like this in Houdini. This is pretty fun. I haven't done a lot with having it modify meshes in the level, but that's really cool. All right. If the first time you drop it in, I don't know if it's just Houdini, this version or what, or this computer. When I drop it in, it takes it a minute to initialize the Houdini session. So that's what that little freeze there was. Let's grab this house, and I have it set up so that I have two kinds of leaves. And these are actually from the mega scans. It was a texture, and using Houdini, I was able to break this texture right here into individual leaves that I could then export. And this is like completely procedural too, because in the past I've made leaves like this, and it's a lot of work. But yes, Houdini is pretty awesome. All right, see, there we go. We got a vine. If you want to tweak it a little bit and then rebuild, and you can also bake it out and export it, which I figured out today when I thought that was pretty handy. So let's give it a little offset because it's clipping through. Yeah, there we go. I like that. I don't know if I'm gonna keep vines on this house, because if this dude does live here, he'd probably take the vines off. But I've considered getting rid of him because he was originally going to be like a little story element here, but I don't think I'm going to go that route finally. This may not be what I use it for. So it being overgrown is pretty cool. Yeah, I actually like how that turned out. That's pretty neat. There's a few things that I'd like to address with this system, because it's not the most high poly, and I don't know if it might be a lot more polys and be okay. It's like one of those things you have to kind of tweak. So yeah, let's run through real quick and look at some of the vines. Let me make sure. There's only going to be like a little story element here, but I don't think I'm going to go that route. Whoa! Somehow I started my stream up. Hold on. Not be what I use it. There we go. I had a window open with my Twitch. Okie dokie. So we got the gate right here is loaded in through a sub level, so it's not here right now. We get some vines on there. We get the vines growing through the car over here, the old hover truck. And yeah, let's go see our vines over here. I'm putting vines on everything. My entire level's getting overgrown. Got some like right there. So let's see. Hold on a second. Actually, he's talking, but he's not animated. Yeah, I like how that looks. I think I should add a few more controls on positioning of the leaves, because I noticed some of them, like I kind of would like to change the direction. Oh. Thinking something to scatter rocks around would be a cool next thing to do. Gotta figure out exactly what I want to make. Alright, the sun says turn around, so we better turn around here. Alright, so what are we going to work on today? Got a few ideas. If anyone wants to chime in and chat, I'll either need to make a robot, which is going to be a lot of modeling, or I need to work on the space station, which the space station has some new things to it. I'm going to go to that real quick. Let's go to the space station. Get a quick overview of what we do and don't have. And guild ship beta. Alright, so we are in the space station. And if you see any characters T-posing, that's still an artifact from where I switched the skeletal rigs. I'm having to find all the meshes again. It was worth the switch, but it has been a little bit of work. Alright, so we got some placeholder shop keeps now. We've got Bounty Bill, and we've got the Gear Forge Mechanic. Probably replace these in the future, but for now, got a crafting station. We don't have enough money, which is the Necrogold. We do have enough crafting parts, so let's leave this real quick. And if you look up in the top left right here, we have some bounties. Let's trade those in for some moolah. Some money. Alright, so trade in the bounties and they get sucked up into the pipe here. And we got some money. Let's buy some stuff. I think I might have one of every item already equipped, but let's see. Let's buy a hood. It's free. Not everything's priced right now, but you can buy a straight sword. Craft that. I don't want to go through and price everything and then have to redo it, because I'm not exactly sure what the pricing will be like. Yeah, there we go. Straight sword. I'm thinking about stretching it out just a little bit longer and making it like a long sword, and maybe use some different animations with it. But yeah, we can craft stuff now. I'm going to save. Quit the desktop. Alright, while I'm thinking about it, that straight sword. Maybe oh yeah, it's W, straight sword. Okay. And yeah, check something real quick. Let's see. We have, I was going to add a couple of things to our sword. So there's the ability system has given me the ability to add the attacks right here. Like you can add each melee attack as an ability. So yeah, like a slash. And those abilities can roll into more slashes and stuff. But the way I have it set up, I am having to manually add them every single time. Which is okay, but it is a bit of extra work. So I might need to find a way to optimize that. But yeah, let's see. If we crashed. Uh-oh. Alright, that's fun. Let's switch to Blender real quick while we are waiting for it to boot back up. That is the joys of game development. I'll add a new source real quick and window capture. So we'll do some modeling while we're waiting. Right. And Okay. Got a notification I dropped some frames. Yeah, I don't know how good my connection is today. Okay. So, make sure I've got the window set up. So let's see. For the sci-fi station, I need to get the shops a little bit more fleshed out, because if you notice, it's very empty in here. And the idea for this one to the left here, this is where Bit and Bob, the merchants who are just like little short robots, they jump in and out of trash heaps. So we need to get the trash heaps made, and we need to, I'm not sure what to put in the bounty station, bounty bills. For the gear forge mechanic, we've already got basically a forge, but it could use remodeling because it's actually really not the right model for that area. It's just kind of placeholder. So let's I think that'd be the easiest one to start with. So let's just work on a little bit of a prop here. I thought about doing something in Houdini, but I don't really know if that's necessary. Actually, let's copy this out. All right, we'll get the dimensions right for this, and then we'll hide everything else. Right about there. I like the layout in our space station, so let's kind of get an idea. So this right here is actually supposed to go outside back when the game was how it originally was, but when things moved to the space station, I haven't remodeled the forge. So I think somewhere, I still like the anvil because there's something kind of weird about a robot using an anvil, but I like it. So let's try about there, maybe a little lower, and we'll kind of get the idea of the shape. Yeah. So we'll quickly just remodel this to be more, let's see what key on, there we go. Put a little bevel on it. There appears to be a modifier somewhere making everything look terrible. So we want to take off the bevel modifier, the subdivision, and the triangulate. There we go. And what version of Blender were we in? Because this looks strange. I like to personally model in Matcap. Yeah, there we go. So we're gonna clear sharp. I don't know why that doesn't show up in the search anymore. Clear sharp. I wonder what I'm doing wrong. Vertices? I don't know. The purple was kind of annoying, but I'll just deal with it. Let's unfuse that, and then this is what is this called? This is Mesh Machine by Machine with a 3. I really quite like this tool. Although that is, sometimes it's a little bit strange with what it does and doesn't allow you to unbevel. See, that's weird. Maybe it's unchamfer, yeah. I might just be really not sure what the heck I'm doing. That could be it. The distance. Actually, we're gonna do angle bevel. Let's see. I need to change the angle of this. Where's the control for that? There we go. I like that. That's a pretty good one. All right. And let's see. We need to put a circle there. And that's where our coal will be. I actually used to blacksmith in real life just for fun. Had a forge and everything. Kind of toasty. What am I looking for? Oh. Let's get a little bit more screen. Just working in a tiny little one. Hard ops. My whole layout's different in this project file. And to remember all the shortcuts. Box cutter. There we go. D is the key I'm looking for. Get a little grid going. Oh gosh, everything just went completely confusing on me. Okay. You know, this is not cooperating at all. See. Now we'll move that around because that looks funky as crap. But where is my... Right about there. That's good. And we'll add a bevel. Let's hide that. And the bevel. I'm liking that. And I think it'd be cool to have, I like that little, whatever that would be called, that little opening. We'll do something similar. This time, let's use Grid Modeler. It's one of my favorite hard surface modeling tools. You could just draw and there we go. Get a shape. It really just saves time. Okay. I just bring this up and let's go out of our little view here and we'll see about where the ceiling is. Okay. And put a loop cut. There, we know about how much space we have. Flip these normals. And real quick, let's just set this to be exported. call this, what are we gonna call this? We can call this blacksmith forge. It's gonna have a really weird center, but it's made for a very specific spot, so it'll be okay. So let's switch back to Unreal. I'll tell there. I had to get the stream switched over. And instead of having this right here, we'll have, let's import real quick. You can't see the window, but I'll be finding the mesh. All right. I'm just gonna search for it. We call it, but. Hold on 1 second. I need to step away from. All right, sorry about that. I had to walk away for a moment. And we'll go back to working on our forge. Let's see. All right, we've brought it, we've got it imported. We will switch it over to the station. Attach it to the station. There we go. And yeah, the proportions are pretty good. So we'll add that. And yeah, I like that. We just need to probably drop down the table a little bit. We won't fix that yet. We'll re-import that. Okay, that seems better. Yeah, this is just a sphere that I put a material on. So we'll just drag it out, make it bigger. Yeah, I like that. And it's not done, that's for sure, but we'll, it's better than having something clip through. And yeah, there we go. I like that a lot. I wonder if we could put some vines on everything in the station. That'd actually be pretty cool if those some kind of large ship crashed and the vines were going through. Let's see. All right. Let's see. We'll travel to this. So there's a, wow, we've crashed twice. I forgot that we crashed before. I must have put an ability that has some kind of little bit of a issue. I have two different attacks that are called slash, and one of them I don't use, and the other one I do. So I bet this one, I put the wrong one on there, and there's like a null pointer. So, or did I put? Now I'm starting to think I put two abilities in. And man, I'm dropping a lot of frames. That's not good. I put two abilities into there, and I think one of them was null. So we'll test that real quick, because that can really, really mess you up. Let's see. Okay. All right. Let's, for some reason, there's ivy growing and it's not letting me click anything. I better save Blender because things are starting to slow down. All of the ivy in the level, I guess, is regenerating. So let's switch back to Blender while we wait. And this is something I do a lot, where if one program's processing, we'll work on another. Otherwise, I'll forget what I was doing, which I guess already happened. But I don't know. I feel like we need. It's a robot. He needs some kind of like gripping arm. Right? Because that would make a lot of sense. To have like a mechanical rig of some sort, like to assist. Maybe even a put a straight line here. So I'm thinking like something like a column. Actually, may not even need the line there. I just thought about it. We'll go back and use grid modeler. Yeah. Gotta remember what's the go to grid modeler. There's a way to make the grid go off of the. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Figure out. I think we want to put a line here. Yeah, like that. And we'll just bring it down. This being in a very weird orientation is going to make it super difficult to model. But I don't know if it's really worth redoing. Just because of what it is. If it was something that you could move around and look at, maybe. It's really just going to be this one-off little thing that you only see in the background of a shop. Just, it's not completely worth the OCD over, like, you know, I don't think. Although I'm, you know, the power of OCD compels us to fix everything. Merge the distance. Constantly adding and removing polygons. Probably get done a lot faster if I didn't do that, but kind of have to feel it out. All right, so we've got this hook, and well, it's not a hook yet. It's going to be a hook. And I believe the bevel's too much. I'm going to take this, and this, grab it all, and separate it, and we'll adjust that bevel specifically. Yeah, that's a lot better for this shape. And make a hook. Looks weird right now. It may look weird when we're done, but hopefully not. Yeah, that's horrible. Let's see. See if we can't get a curve to that. Maybe that would make it look better. I don't know what that's doing. Let's see. I have to get my head wrapped around the way that Fuse likes to do stuff. Whoa. It's pretty wild. Let's see if Unreal's open back up for us real quick. I'll switch back. So before I'm afraid I'm going to forget and load it again with that straight sword. And yeah, I put a null ability in there. So that's probably something I should check in the code. But when I'm not doing streams, I like things to crash so I can fix them. I would rather crash on me than it crash on somebody playing the game or just not work. Alright, there we go. Our plant has done something strange. Yeah, swing this sword. Cool. Its picture's all stretched out of whack. So, let's noticing something real quick. Our plants trying to regenerate. Just rebuild all instances and switch back to Blender. We'll just this is the way I kind of work. Just back and forth. Keeps it interesting, I guess. Or it's just a testament to my level of ADHD. So let's see. That might be a better hook. And I am going to switch this to a solidify modifier. That is by far my favorite modifier. Okay. Like that, make a new object. We need to real quick parent this and this to the forge. This way they'll be exported together. Solidify, bring it inwards. Okay. All right, that's already looking a little bit better. Let's give it a shape like that. get deep into thought, I get very quiet. Here we go. I don't know. I don't know if that makes it better. Or not. I kind of like it. Like a little bit chunkier. I feel like everything needs to be very thick and chunky over here. The blacksmith forge. Like that. All right, that looks pretty good, and we'll shade that smooth, and we'll need to do an auto smooth, which is a really awesome thing. If you haven't seen it in Blender, I didn't see it for years. I never even realized it was a thing until one day I found it, and it just totally changed the way I did stuff. I believe the bevel's getting a hold of it. Bevel there. And the auto smooth angle. It's definitely not shading smooth like I would expect. There we go. For some reason, when I was adjusting it a second ago, it wasn't doing it. Okay. Let's see. All right, we'll switch back to, we need to export this, and then we'll switch back to Unreal, see what it looks like, and see if we still crash in the space station. I probably need to bake some of these vines. I don't really think they need to be just hanging out all the time. Well, I like how that one formed. See, is that exported? I apologize for not switching my windows fast enough. I always forget. It kind of would be nice if there was a way for me to figure out how to make OBS focus specific ones, and there probably is a way, because Streamlabs is very, very deep, it seems like. Bake this. Where's the? I see it. It pops up for a second. There we go. I'm gonna bake that, and we'll call this large ivy growth. And that's something really cool that I realized this morning is you can move out of Dropbox. You can have Houdini generate these really complicated and very specific meshes, right? And then you can save them and no longer have to deal with generating them again or worrying about them resetting. That's something I didn't realize when I did the Mega Jam. And so I lost actually a large amount of my levels, or part of my level, and had to redo it after I went back to working on Marsh's Journey. And which way is it up on this? And so when I went back to that, it regenerated some of the stuff, and it forgot where the visors were, the curves. So I lost shape to the levels. So that's something to think about if you're using Houdini. I really do love how these turned out. The Mega Scans really helped speed up the time to make them too. All right. Now, another trick I've realized, but because it wasn't wanting to generate across these single flat planes, there's not a lot of mesh there. I could use just a big old cube stretched out. That's something, if you watch the Simon from Houdini, he does a lot of cubes and uses those. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Let's see. I keep getting very distracted. This is why my game is not done. But let's drag in our, not drag in, let's re-import our blacksmith forge. That we've been working on. Probably should bring the hook back a little bit. That's too close to the wall. Go back to Blender. Does that lower it? This will be fine. And we'll have to drop it back down. We'll do a quick auto unwrap of the whole project. And then we'll just throw some kind of texture on it. I've got to have something. Export for, well, no, we're actually going to export this for Unreal. Go back to our window. See, there we go. We need to move our cables. Houdini has some really nice cable generators. These aren't those, but I'm going to find a use for the cables. Let's see, there's a, until I go into something like Substance Painter, I like to just throw some random textures on. I believe for now we're going to make this 3 materials. The top, just go send that wall backing. This one will send the ceiling. These are kind of nonsense ones. So the flooring. So we'll make it 4 different material slots. Which is not really efficient rendering wise, but it's also, it really doesn't matter, especially in a scene like this. Reset the FBX. And we'll see what kind of metals do we have. We have this brass. Whoa, the wall. Drag the brass onto that. That doesn't really work for any of it. There we go. Okay. If we make the walls blue and the forge yellow. Ooh, I like how that stripe goes there. Yeah, we'll just play around with it. Right. Until we get the actual textures on there. Maybe some decals. Decals is like the main difference between a finished model and placeholder, I think. You can get so much with so little. Let's see, make sure. Okay, yeah, we're still on Unreal, and we'll travel to the space station. I don't have any more bounties to trade in. That's the next thing we need to figure out is the I have quests, sort of. I just need to get some put together. Yeah, I've got robots talking to us. Alright, so if we go to the Gear Forge, well, poop. We need to drag this out of sight. Save it. Oh, thanks, Ken. I really appreciate that. Hopefully Which part? This right here, what I'm modeling? Is that what you're asking about? This little thing right here, or something else? Because this right here is the blacksmith forge. Well, the robot forge, because you know, it's a little different. This is the old version of it, which is kind of like an outdoor forge, but we're inside, so yeah. Let's see. Forgot what I was doing now. Oh, we need to just load into the space station, because this whole process of going back and forth, I'm gonna probably have to like mute the characters in the bar very soon. All right, so let's look real quick. I think that looks a lot better for the setting. It's still very simple, but I think it looks pretty cool. It does need it needs its own textures, that's for sure. But I think it'd be cool if the hook, let's go full screen if we can. The hook needs to be in sight. It'd also be cool if it like somehow, I don't know if you've seen like Monster Hunter World, whenever you craft stuff, the stuff comes out. That would be pretty cool. All right, let's leave. So I need to do a market. I don't know if that's something I want to do on stream, because it will be kind of boring, a lot of blueprints. But I could start work on Bit and Bob. I think they're going to be kind of hilarious if I can do them like I want to, because they'll need to be jumping in and out of the piles of trash. All right. Okay. So let's see. We've got a placeholder forge. I'm just trying to get like a visual feel for the layout. So I already have some crates in there. Just shift that. And switched over to Blender, and we'll start making some piles of junk. Get rid of the mirror because we do not need this mirrored, and we'll get rid of all that. All right, so this gives us kind of like how much room we have. Maybe we have a pile here and a pile here. Let's see. Trying to think how we'd lay this out. If the character's probably going to be on the left side, because that's been kind of the layout I've done. We would need to be able to look at this. We want to see the features, which would be the junk. I need to see the pile. So for like, what is the shortcut? Yeah. Let's see. My chat is so delayed. I apologize if I don't respond quickly. For some reason, I've got just a massive amount of delay between what you see and what I see chat-wise. So if I don't answer quickly, I do believe we're quite out of sync. But yeah, I'm finally seeing the responses. We gotta get the forge. Got the forge going right here. We gotta have something. I'm thinking tubes. I think tubes just like launching cubes through would be cool, because bounties are cubes, the glowing cubes, kind of like Pokemon. And we're gonna have junk piles in here full of all the different resources you can buy. And that's the main shops we're gonna have for now. Which it's actually kind of been a little exciting as I've started adding shop keeps recently, because that is a main thing that was missing. Let's see, is there a source? How often do I stream? I'm trying to stream a little bit more than have been. I just started probably, I think this month, maybe last month, like the end of last month. Kind of I like to work on game development on stream, and then I play games typically with my brother. But I'm trying to get a feel for a good schedule. Still trying to get the audio and everything set up right. I think I'm finally getting it right. It was, the first few streams were awful sounding, but hopefully it sounds better today, now that I'm using my real mic. I'm never sure like how much of like development I need to stream, just because some of it is just extremely boring to watch. Like, I don't know how boring this is right now, but it's fun. It's fun to do, but sometimes it can be very boring to watch, especially UI blueprints. Yeah, on the weekends I stream during the day. During the week I have a job, so I'll stream at night. Just whenever I have a chance and the internet's not being completely used by somebody else, I like to. That's good. Yeah. Hopefully it does. It's been a lot of iterations on settings and stuff. I finally found the filters. That's been a big deal for it. Audio quality. Okay. I'm gonna open up Houdini. I have an idea. Just gotta figure out. I've got like 10 versions on my computer. Put that onto it. Well, I'm glad you like to watch. It's you know, it's just one of those things. I like to watch other people work on game development and modeling and everything, but a lot of times it's not the most visually exciting if you don't, know what's going on. Be kind of chill sometimes though to watch. Let's see. For some reason, this file, I'm having trouble getting oh, I was just hitting the wrong key. That's it. I'll get rid of these extras. Just having trouble with the subdivision being weird on me. I need these edges to be sharp. How long have I been working on this project? It's been kind of a weird process, because this is technically the first Unreal project that I started with. But over the years, it's been like this massive learning project. But it's probably been, I think I'm going on 5 years sort of on this idea. But about 2 years back, 2 or 3 years back, I switched over to a completely new project file. Like, you know, I started from scratch. I finally had the ideas together. But the first 2 years was like actually me learning C++ and learning Unreal and all the stuff in the workflow. And kind of like finding the idea. But all in all, it's been probably about 5 or 6 years of learning. But yeah, I've probably made more progress in the past year or two versus the first 3 years, just because it was like completely new territory. See. Now I have a bunch of like bits and bobs and gears in another file, so I may cheat and just drag those in to these piles. I'm going to real quickly, I'm going to open up Houdini. See if I can get that on the stream. There we go. So yeah, no, well, it's the idea started about 6 years ago, and like the first 3 years was me learning, and then so it's like 5 to 6 years of working in Unreal. But I have done like other little projects in between, so you know, I do get distracted. Oh, thanks, Grix. That's nice. Yeah, I appreciate it. Let's see. I'm going to try to take. I've got to figure out how to auto switch my windows. I'm going to take these blobs of junk. I want to use them as a base to scatter like some stuff in Houdini. So I'm going to try to figure that out. It might be smarter to just start in Houdini with a plane. Let's experiment with that. See what we can do. So make a geometry node. I've gotten really into using Houdini here lately. I love what you can do with it. There isn't like no, there's no gear shape. Start with a grid. No, a circle. There we go. That might be better. Houdini really like causes you to think differently. Let's see. I think if we do a mountain on this, I'm going to actually. I just remembered I've been learning how to do Vex, and those are pretty fun. When you start getting into this, I think we could just do an app. Okay, that made it disappear. Oh. I still have to pull up the documentation on a lot of these notes to remember the syntax. Yeah, I highly recommend learning Houdini. It is a little bit expensive to get into, I think, but I have it for 2 years, so I better learn it. Oh, you gave up on the dream? I did so many times. You know, I got the trial. Like every time I'd get a new computer and I'd be installing programs, I would see Houdini. I'm like, oh, I should try that, and I'd get the trial, and it'd sit there, and I'd open it, and I would run away terrified because it was so scary. It is a scary program to get into. I'm not gonna lie. I'm still trying to figure out Vex. I'll tell you that though. It is tough. So this takes a float position. What's that do? I wonder if the noise is just really small? Or is it, am I doing something completely wrong? Scale. Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong. This is probably not even a polygon. Maybe that's it. Oh yes, yeah. I would agree that character art probably wouldn't need a lot of Houdini. I would like to figure out if there was a way it could work into Houdini, but do you work in like ZBrush or what's your weapon of choice for character design? I know you probably use a whole pile, but like there's got to be a favorite in that bunch. ZBrush, Topogun, and Painter. Is Painter just like Substance Painter? Or is it called Topogun Painter? I'm not familiar with Topogun. I'm gonna have to look that up. Probably, yeah, you can't see it on stream. I have to Google Topogun because that sounds really cool. Oh, okay. So it's like a topology tool. That's neat. I like Blender. I use Blender for just about everything, and I use Houdini for when I need to do procedural environment stuff. I cannot get this to look right. This looks really strange. I need it to be more like a... Substance Painter is so cool. I've tried other programs and nothing feels like Substance Painter does. Oh yeah, you know I got a trial for Marmoset a while back, and I really liked it. Bee Painter. Haven't seen that one. You know the what is it? Quixel Mixer. That one got a painting tool in it. It didn't really become part of my workflow, but it was kind of cool. I remember back when I think Quixel had a Photoshop plugin. I think was it Quixel? I can't remember. And what was it called? They had like DD Painter, something like that. I don't know. It was like letters, and it seemed like it would be kind of cool, but it was very slow. That's something I noticed. It's very slow. I'm gonna pull up my Vex cheat sheet. Also, I'm gonna look up Bee Painter. Oh, it's a blender tool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that tab open because that might be DDO and Indio. Okay, yeah, I remember that. Was it? I don't know if you did you use it because it was for me. It was slow. All right. Let's see. For some reason, I'm remembering how to do the noise function wrong. So take just a second. We can visualize our noise just a little bit better. Yeah, so it was slow for you too. It was. That's the thing when you're painting, you need it to kind of like update quickly because unless you know exactly what it's going to look like, a lot of times it's just tweaking colors and adding strokes and stuff. Once I found out that there's all kinds of like different, I don't know, I can't remember what it's called, but in Substance Painter you can like draw a mask, and then you can actually, there's a way to use that as an, what is it called, an anchor or something like that. You can use that in other things and filter it. So like you could draw on one mask and it would chip away, you could have it chip away some wood and have like bark be gone on stuff. I did that on the handle of a axe one time, and it was really cool when I figured that out. It was kind of a exciting time. I am terrible at remembering the names of these functions. There's one that I need to find. It was the best of the time though. Yeah, I do. Back when I was first starting out with this stuff, I saw it. I always came across it. I think it was before. Before Substance Painter really took off. Starting to kind of look like a poop emoji. That's not really the intended result. Let's see. If you get into Houdini, I'm just gonna drop this in here. Somebody shared this with me on Discord the other day, and see if I can find my chat. If you never really messed with Think Report, definitely look into it. I didn't either. For like ever. I saw it and I was like, oh, I don't really. This doesn't make any sense. Definitely try the. I think it is the anchor point system, and if you should save this as a. Let me see if I can get the link to the joy of Vex. Save this on your computer somewhere if you ever need to get into Houdini. This is a Houdini lifesaver. This site. Maybe not. Did I put? Actually, did the 10, but you need to just actually hit a specific lesson. But I am about 15 lessons through, and while I'm not completely remembering all the syntax, the concepts are sticking with me for sure. Vector. Zero. There's not enough autofill in. There we go. So now we get the noise. We don't get on the bottom. That's good. And then we could shift the noise. Let me try curl noise. Oh wow. There we go. Let's see. It's a little bit pointy, but I think it's working all right. I think we might want to actually get rid of that tip completely. Fuse. Let's see. Another node that I'm a big fan of is the remesh node. It does kind of make the polygons a little weird looking, but it'll be okay for something like this because we kind of want a little bit of chaos. Oh, that's disturbing to watch. Yeah, definitely bookmark that, because if you do get into Houdini, you'll want to learn Vex, and you won't know where to start if you're like me, because it is very daunting. But I really like, because like right now we just wrote a little Vex and we've got this mushy pile, and you know it's just 3 lines, and we've got these controls and we've got the ability to do this. And now I'm gonna see in Blender if for some reason I start talking about something that it's not on the screen and it seems like I'm in the wrong program, let me know, because I did that the other day. I was just talking about one program and I had another one up, but yeah, I'm making a junk pile. Just kind of playing around with the idea. I guess it's kind of like just sketching out the idea. I'll make a really simple gear. I know I have a gear somewhere, but where is it saved on my computer? I don't know. I imagine anybody who knows what they're doing, I probably drive them crazy with the way I make stuff. Yeah, this isn't turning out right at all. I don't know why I didn't think cylinder to start with. Let's see. That kind of looks like a gear. I think there used to be something in Blender for gear shapes. I just need like a little bit and bob. It's just going to be scattered across the mesh. And then if we can find a good junky texture, it would probably look pretty convincing. Export recursive. All right, we'll switch back to Houdini. And do a archive import, and I'm just going to really quickly find the mesh in a different way because it's so slow to go through there. Oh gosh, no, it doesn't like you to drag it in at all. There we go. All right, this is scaled up for unreal proportions. There's a little bit of a, I guess you run into this with Blender as well. You have to keep readjusting the scale. Dogs are barking. So let's do scatter node on our junk pile. Oh, we zoomed out. Okay. I think I did that backwards. I copied the points to it. Wow. I don't think that's right at all. That's getting better, but not much. I'm gonna try another Vex thing I learned, which is just combing the normals, which I need a vector. Cross the normal with a vector, I think is what we need to do. And then we set the normal to the cross of that. Okay, that's obviously not right. Oh, yes. We got it. It actually might be easier just to rotate it here. Yeah, that's better. Then we need to add a little bit of noise to the vector. So I want to test something real quick. I think P scale, yeah, that's, so we want a little bit of randomness in that. We should be able to get like a nice little variation. Yeah. And what does that look like if we merge it? There's going to be a lot of polygons. But another cool thing we can do is, because we are working procedural, we could just group by their feature and only grab the things with a, we call the bottom normals. And instantly remove all of those. Which is just a quick optimization. I just like finding excuses to use Houdini. I am going to walk away from the stream for just a minute, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Needs more bits and bobs, yes. Yes, it does. All right. Let's see. Got all these gears. They're starting to get a little bit of noise to them. Scale around, and then we will get a curl noise going on this one. Oh, that needs to be CHB. Let's see. You have to delete the parameters if you change their types, which is okay. Just something to do. Okay. I wonder what this would look like voxelized. Oh. Absolutely horrible. It is interesting though. I'm gonna quickly, let's just pull up gametextures.com, have that loading in the background while I play around with this. Okay, that's going to freeze up my computer. Quickly save that. Sometimes I do a panic save in programs, I guess. Oh, that's super weird. I kind of like how it looks on. But I'll go back to this. I wonder if there might be a way to take and get rid of all of this extra mesh down here. I don't know if it's necessary, but it is something to think about. So let's grab this, and there's a function in Houdini that will cap. Yes, like that. And then we'll just do a Boolean off of that. So do a subtraction of a minus b. That is a little weird. And I don't know if it improved anything. Then we just run the normals. And that does clean it up a little bit, but let's look at the, yeah. Like, does it give us any better vertex counts? So it's 5164 with the Boolean, and it's actually, we could just do this. It's 4739 versus, wow, there's more vertices from a Boolean operation, so we don't want to do that. It's just like fake optimization. Don't want to do that at all. It seemed like it would be better, but now if we were to take these gears and give them a good texture, that might actually help. I'm gonna switch over to Unreal, and I know I have a gear in there with a texture on it. Gear, spinning gear. It's got 288 vertices, and it's already textured. So let's export that to the desktop. I've gotten really lazy. I just export stuff to the desktop now instead of, you know, folder structure, especially for something that's just a one-off transfer. And before I forget, yeah, we're in Houdini, okay. Don't want to leave you, I left it in a code editor for like half of a stream. Like the first time I did an Unreal stream. And ever since I did that, I've been like paranoid. It's super awkward to realize you're in the wrong window. Let's see, gear. Uh-oh. Okay. Okay, so there's a collision mesh on it. That's really weird. What would, Go back to Unreal, we'll duplicate the gear, and we'll just remove the, I'm never going to switch windows, I'm just going to hit remove and export again. Okay, so for some reason it was exporting the mesh with it, and we don't need that. So we can have this gear, which I guess is already rotated. So we'll do that, and we have that, and that's pretty cool. But we could actually do the old gear too. We could have two kinds of gears that we kind of scatter about, and I think that's what we'll do. So in Houdini, there's a group by range tool that works good for this. It would be interesting if they would come out with a scatter to points that lets you choose between different meshes. I don't know. It seems like it'd be handy. Group by range. We want points. And yeah, like that. Let's see. Call this gear A. To make sure we're actually doing it right, we'll preview this, and then when we split it, we should get some of those there. And then my graph's getting discombobulated. And that always happens. The more you start adding. Do I copy the points for this one? I'll get these points. For now, it'll still be the same mesh. Okay. And I think, yeah, simple gear is still in here. So that's not right. This is that gear, and this is Euler geometry. Yeah, so we've got two different gears. I wonder why that one's a slightly different color. That actually concerns me a bit. Why would that one be slightly different? We'll see if it does something weird when we export it. All right, so we got all these pieces of junk. What's cool is we could totally, at any point, we should be able to just change the shape and have it, you know, scatter. That's the only reason you'd really want to get into any of this. And our vertex counts are probably decent. No, it's only 6,000 for this, which I don't know. 6,000 vertices doesn't seem like a huge number to me. But who knows? Let's see what this looks like with a little bit higher extrusion. Nah. All right. Yeah, man. Ooh. I'm about to. Let's see how long we've been streaming. Yeah, in about 30 minutes I'll be off. But yeah, take your time, man. Let's see. An idea. I have some other meshes that I'd like to also bring in. Bring in some circuit boards. I think I've got a circuit board somewhere. Switch to Unreal and get it. See. All right. Let's bring in the electronic components. All right, they're a little bit too small. Wow, that seems oddly thick. But they're liking the engine? No. There we go. That's good enough for me. And guess we'll do the same thing we did before. But this time we'll be getting them from gear A. All right, so we're going to take those little pieces and we're going to put some electronic components, because you know that seems like well, that looks terrible. It seems like a good way to store your electronics is with all the gears. Although when I got into electronics, that's kind of what I did. I just threw it all in one box. Are we seems like we're not splitting on the right point. There we go. What does this look like? I need to get those textures for the gears while we're at it. Let's see, quick material. That's what we need. And I'll just pull down it from Unreal again. Where's it saved at? It's saved in building kits. Gives us an idea of what the heck we're looking at, although that still looks kind of chaotic. Let's see. Okay. Gonna just bring in a quick texture from textures.com. Although that may not be the best thing to do on stream. Hopefully it doesn't slow down. But we need some kind of texture on here to see what we're doing. Just out of curiosity, what does that even look like in Engine? And we're just going to switch back to Unreal now that we've exported. Which one is it? There we go. And I think, let's put it in a Houdini junk folder. We'll just play around with, oh wow, it exported really small. We'll see what that looks like. And yeah, let's just drag it in, make it a little bit bigger. With the way the materials are currently, it does look a hot mess. I'll definitely agree with that. But it does give me that feel that it's a lot of just absolute junk just piled up in the corner. And I kind of like it. Need to get I have a texture somewhere, electronic parts. I believe this one's a glowing material though. Yeah, it's got a Fresnel to it. So let's grab that. There we go. This is an unlit one. Oh, no, it is a lit. Which way is that? It's a non-emissive material. That's what it is. Okay. And let's just drag a random texture on there. It's not unwrapped, so back to Houdini. And let's just, I think we could just project a texture on there. I don't think we need to get fancy at all with our unwrapping. So we'll just project UV or UV project and switch to UV view. Seems fine to me. I don't see, can't think of why that wouldn't work. Then we'll switch back to Unreal and re-import it. Okay. And I wonder if, could we make a material in Blender, a texture in Blender that looked like a bunch of junk? Oh no, Substance Designer. That's where we'll go. So we'll take and scatter some stuff on it, and it'll, we may not even need as many meshes. While that loads up, let's try making a second one. So we'll turn the Houdini one. Whoa, my mouse disappeared. That was concerning. I did download a texture. I may not even need to make one. So let's see how this actually looks. If I can get it to open. So I found some steampunk gears on game textures. My credits reset, so I can only download 3 things right now. But let's just see what the base color looks like on this, what do you call it? This junk pile. Won't even create a material, we'll just drag that on. And I actually kind of like that the way it's looking. And we'll make it fully metallic and a little shiny. That's way too shiny. Bring in the normals. This is actually the Blender texture, so hopefully they shouldn't really be any different, I don't think. It's just which textures. And then we'll do metallic shading because that looks pretty good on something like this. Yeah, I like that. That actually turned out really... Yeah, that's actually looking pretty cool. Let's actually get... And let's... We could look at the texture. Having an idea. Let's bring in that texture that we got. Just grab a gear off of it. Well, let's let me switch my window captured back to Blender, and we will start getting the texture in. Whoa, what is that? Oh. Yeah, so we'll just actually grab. No, actually, I think I'm going the wrong direction with this completely. Just trying to something like that, and then we'll actually know how to name that last material. Let's see. Material 13. All right, so we just assign material 13 to this, and we should be able to, through the magic of UVs, get it to look like something. I wonder if you could almost get the teeth. This wouldn't be a bad idea, but what if we took the teeth off? This might look horrible, but it might have a good look to it. Let's just take these, because again, this is a background element, right? So just unwrap this and use UV squares to no. Gonna want to, UV squares won't work in this situation. We'll need to manually. Just make it a circle and project from view. Hey, that's kind of cool. I like that. That'll give us a little bit of geometry to see. If we go, I got way too many windows open now. Now if we go back to Houdini there for a second, there was two of me. Nice. If we go back to Houdini and look at this, we switch the first gear, second gear. We'll switch the second gear out. Reload. I guess it didn't export. There we go. Reload, and now it's a bunch of circles. But when we look at them, they'll actually, yeah, they kind of look like little. Yeah, I like that. Might want to rotate them. Let's see what they look like in Unreal, which we've now got open again. Yeah, I like that. They're not very pronounced, but they are there. We can see. Whoa. Their UVs are very wrong. Interesting. Why are the UVs wrong? Oh, it's the scaling. So instead of scaling in the material, maybe we'll just scale it on the mesh. Since we're doing everything procedurally, it should be pretty easy. So we'll go in here and we will find our UV unwrapping. I'll look back real quick. What we scaled it to before was 4 times bigger, so we'll just, we UV project, we'll just do 4 times. Seems, no, it'd be 0.25, it'd be divided. Yeah, I think that's right. That seems really large. So switch back to Unreal and re-import our junk pile. Yeah, it's too big. Oh no, it's doubly scaled. That's okay. So there we go. That's actually a pile of junk. The gears right here, I think, could use a color shift. Either they could be lightened or these gears could be dark. Like, you know, one of them. The colors need to blend a little better. So I'm just going to try to bring the rendering up, the brightness up on this. That, I don't know if that, whoa, I did not mean to hit 35. Then maybe the other gears. I could use metallic shading as well. The roughness of 0.5. I think that'll probably blend a lot. Oh, that's so much better. Yeah, there we go. So we've got that pile of junk, and I'm very happy with that, how that's turning out. And we could totally make another one in just seconds, like a completely new one, if we just save this out. So we're gonna grab all this. Now sometimes when I do this, Houdini crashes. So we're gonna go to Houdini and we're gonna save. Now we're gonna hit Shift C. Will it crash? No crashes. Fantastic. And that's a bundle of gear. So we're gonna get gear pile. Now if we were to, I don't know how this is gonna pan out. I have it full of, it's got FBXs inside the file. I don't know if it'll pack those in or not. Let's see. So we're gonna go gear pile, accept that, and we'll save it. It has some references outside the nodes. Okay. Order. Okay. So we'll take these references and we'll make them inputs. And that way we can pick what junk we want to bring into this. A minimum of 3 inputs, maximum. Accept. Okay. Let's see, there's something on my screen that keeps catching my eye. I'm not sure what's changing. There we go. This will be our inputs. Input 1's hiding behind here. And we should still, yeah, there we go. So we have a gear pile. We'll save the node type. And our references are fixed. And we could parameterize this, if that's a word. I don't know if that's the word. But now, I'm even going to go one step further and make the maximum inputs to 4. Okay. Okay, I understand. I still got the nodes in here, huh? Grab those. And all right, so there's that. We should, when we save it and open it now, it should stop. Yeah, it stopped yelling at me that there's an issue. We need to get rid of those, and then starting at that one, we'll bring our circle out. And we should now be able to take and input a shape. Great googly moogly. What just happened? Oh yes, we didn't shift our subgraph inputs. All right. Now we can go through and spawn as many different ones as we want. And I'm going to slide these over and start making some different shapes. Okay, we'll keep those the same, but we'll want to make a different circle. And then I'm actually not going to do a circle at all. Is there a poly draw? Yes, that might be what we want. So if we go from I want to set the, somehow I swiveled my camera. Okay, and let's try drawing a shape. Am I misunderstanding how this works? Yeah, I am. Let's just make a grid then. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, what? For some reason, my camera suddenly stopped being orbit, and I don't know how to fix it. It's kind of driving me crazy. 3D camera. Yeah, I don't know. We'll just deal with it for now, but I'm going to go insane with this camera movement. But now we have this gear panel that can be any shape that we want. I'm not seeing our little other bits though, like our electronic parts. They're really, really tiny, aren't they? So maybe they're being doubly scaled. I'm betting that. Yeah, they are. Okay, so now we've got that, and we can try to not get sick from the camera. I'm going to do a bevel. I don't know if I can do a vertex bevel, but I'm going to try. I have been okay. I thought for a second I'd left the stream in Unreal. I've been working inside of Houdini for a while now. I went to, there we go. It's exactly what I wanted. Okay. There we go. And we have a more controlled shape. And we'll export this one as junk 1. And I need to put a control in for how high it is, but I think that's going to be a little bit later. Before we go any further, let's put a soften normals on our jump count. Soften the norms. And we'll just export both of these real quick. I'll re-import that. Switch over to Unreal, which I was in for like a split second there without switching over. I'm going to import junk 1. And it's tiny as well, so I guess I could do a scale on the export, but this is really easy, and where it's not rigged or anything, it doesn't really matter. So I'm not gonna worry about it. Our soften normals didn't seem to stick. Must be an angle thing. If it looks really bad, I'll fix it. Let's just grab that. We might want to do a world align texture so they blend. I'm thinking would look good. See, those need that. I don't see the electronic parts. That's concerning. They don't really need them right here, but they do need to be, they are supposed to be somewhere. I think that turned out pretty cool right there. And yeah, we'll make a world align texture real quick, and then we will wrap this stream up. So we're just gonna go World align texture. Convert these to texture objects. And we'll need a world aligned. Just need an XY texture. World aligned normal. XY texture. Apply. That looks bizarre. Am I thinking I need the Z texture? Is that what I needed? Yes. All right, and we'll make the scale something like 128. That looks good to me. And we need to make sure we do that to the normals. Save that out, and we'll just drop it on. There we go. Some junk. Bring this one to the front a little bit, and because it does look better. And then we'll put that in the back. Fantastic. I really like how that looks. It's very fun. These have the electronics on them, but the other one does not. So we'll need to make sure. Oh, yeah, I know it is. We'll just save the node type. We'll have to go in here. Delete that. Save node type. And we need to lock the node. But we'll go, I'll do that later. Just re-import. Trying to find some of the electronic components, but yeah, there we go. That's pretty cool. Bit and Bob's gonna have a pile of junk to jump in. Junk to jump in. Junk to jump in. It does not sound right. It's kind of weird. Okay, yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody, and you know, it's a good time. I'm gonna go grab some lunch. See you later.